This is my 1976 Ford Escort Mk2. Started off life as a 1.3 GL. Now running 2 litre Vauxhall red top, Mazda RX-8 gearbox. Power's a give or take 170 horsepower. I bought this as my little track car, I suppose, because I've got a Mark 1 Escort 2, and I was throwing that around track. And the more I did to make it like a track car, the Mark 1, the worse it became on the road as a nice everyday car. So a friend of mine was selling this, and just so happened that the colour's the same as my Mark 1 as well, and so it was ideal. So I bought this in 2021 and I took it to Kerbera, and very enjoyable. It's quite different to my Mark 1 in the way it drives. And there's quite a bit to improve on it. So the lad who I bought it off, Rockbox Driver on YouTube, he was looking after it for me because at the time I hadn't got any space to store it. And so I said, oh well, I want a few bits doing. There was like roll cage needed finishing off, some of the wiring wasn't right, and some other bits. So he had it back, and went to move it and start it, like after this Kerbera thing that we did, and the engine like locked up, so it was a bit like wondering what was going on. And he rings me, he's like, something going on with this engine, and yeah, it was just turning and locking up. So we ended up taking the cylinder head off it, and it snapped several valves and bent the rest, and then the valves had then hit all the valve seats and ruined the cylinder head, as it was an early Coscast style engine, and we had no idea what had happened, why this had happened, as the belt jumped a tooth. All he'd done is gone to start it a few days later. It come off the trailer under its own steam. It done a successful day, all was fine. So I went and sourced another red top engine locally to me, and we decided pop the head off it and have a look at that, and it's a good job we did. The engine had been sitting, and the all the bores were scored. So now we've got two engines. One of was in better nick than the other, admittedly, because the other one was trashed. So I took both of them to a local engine builder called Allards in Stoke. Daz, good lad he is. It had new pistons and rods in the old block, and it used the new cylinder head that I just bought off the new engine, and then it was put together. Chris took his time putting it together because he wasn't sure what had caused it to fail in the first place. So he didn't want to throw it together and same happen again. And it was last year when he found out what had actually happened. The woodruff key in the crank had snapped, so the bottom end turned, the top end didn't, and it happened just while cranking the engine, so that could have gone at any point and it'd been worse than it was. So then, now he was armed with what had happened, he put it together. At back end of 2024, but then this car has been plagued with quite a few issues, so he was running it and it was fine, and then suddenly it just all stopped and it got no spark, no nothing, and don't know why. We still haven't figured this one out. The Weber Alpha ignition ECU had popped, gone bang, and Chris, quite rightly, he'd had enough of it now. He's like, the engine's in, have it back. So I had it back in December last year, and with the help of good friends, we started to put it together. And we redid all the wiring in the loom, made everything work, all the lights, all the brakes, and we put a Nodis Gen X ECU on it, which is better. I mean, I've got a normal Nodis Pro in my Mark 1, and that isn't very good. The Gen X is quite improved over that. And then I took the car, once we'd done all the wiring and everything and we got it running, I took the car up to AB Garage in D-side, and Adrian run it in and set it all up. And he said it was making good figures, about 160, 170 horsepower, thereabouts. And I had it back. And then I've just been driving it and enjoying it since then. I've done some more Cobra visits in it, and the car's fantastic. It drives so nicely. The steering's light. I've got to get used to the brakes because it's a bias pedal box, but the steering's light in it. The handling's really good. The engine's strong, lots of torque. The gearbox is buttery. There's still some things I need to sort, but generally it's been very enjoyable to drive. So it's going to Donington Park as I'm recording this tomorrow, which is the 30th. It'll be at Donington Park evening for a big, that's first full track day. Like I said, I took it to Cobra and it did a good job there. Goes quite nicely sideways. It's got a 3J plated diff in it.
Goes, holy shit.
And yeah, drives well. So I'll take you around the car now, so I've done a lot of waffling, and let you have a look at it. So inside it has a roll cage. It has OMP TRS E seats, RS steering wheel, I think it's a rep, Mazda 6-speed box, plumbed in fire extinguisher. Let me just get in it. It's got one of them Syncotech digital dashes, and they're okay. It updates quick enough. Let me just turn it on. The problem I've got is not long after I had it, it got stuck in Fahrenheit. So now I'm having to use freedom units for the water temp and oil temp. But I've watched enough roadkill to know that what's what, so it's not too bad. I've got a wideband AFR gauge there, one of them BTCC style mirrors, because these mirrors just start vibrating as soon as you fire the engine up. Yeah, and just like, it's a bit more track inspired than my other cars, but I'm yet to actually use it on track, so we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Right, let's show you the rest of it. So in the boot, it's got alley tank, 2 fuel pumps, one feeds a swirl pot. It was originally going to be fuel injected, I believe, so I could actually get rid of one of them pumps, but the system works. Couple more fire extinguishers, can't have too many of them. Batteries in the boot. There we are. Here's the engine. Red top, C20XE, tubular manifold, Weber 45s, Coolx radiator. Behind there's an oil cooler. Didn't get a thermostatic plate, which means it's running a bit too cold at the minute, so I've just made a quick blank for it, but it'll probably need it on track. So like I say, it's got a bias pedal box. You can see the plumbed in fire extinguisher we've done. Round here is my little air ventilation idea, which is basically perspex, window wound half down, and then a knacker duct which blows lovely, actually really good. It blows cold air right into the back of my neck. It does a really good job as well, because there's no heater bowl or anything, so there's no, all these vents don't work. There's no ventilation in the car apart from the windows, but you can only have them down so far on a track day anyway. Right, we'll fire it up. Couple of pumps. Runs really well. Videos in of it driving round track tomorrow when I get some. Well, I might do a separate video for that, but I'll put some action shots in if I've got some, so you can see how it goes. Let's jump out a sec. That's a look at the Mark 2. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll do a proper video on the Mark 1 next.